Grace to you and peace, sisters and brothers, from the one who is, the one who was, and the one who is to come. Good morning, saints. Good morning, sinners. We're all here. And all we are is here. And I am delighted to be here. Honor for me to be here. And Terry is one of my doctoral students. How am I doing? Am I doing all right? Terry, it's great to be here with you. Christianity actually was born in a storm. It was called terrorism. And state-sponsored terrorism, and the terrorist had a name, and his name was Herod. And then in the second century, we had another big storm, and huge storm faced Christianity as we had to decide, are we going to become a global religion and go into the uttermost parts of the world, or are we just going to stay a Jewish community and a Jewish sect? And there were these Judaizers who said, no, we got to stay very particular and very provincial as a Jewish community. And others said, no, we got to go and be global. And by the way, the Judaizers are always with us, but it was a huge storm. And then the 5th century, another big storm, the barbarian Visigoths. These blonde Teutons were at the gates, and the Roman Empire is collapsing, and here Christianity just had been made a state religion. How does it deal with a collapsing empire? And by the way, somebody went into hiding for 10 years and wrote a manual on how to get through that storm. Some say he was the greatest theologian Christianity's produced. His name was Augustine. And the manual he wrote, anybody know the name of that manual? City of God. Then another big storm, 16th century, huge storm confronts the church. Actually started in the 15th century when a little German jeweler who spent his life setting gemstones decided to set type. His name was, anybody? Gutenberg. And Gutenberg creates a whole new technology called the printing press. And it creates a whole new way of moving and being in the world. And there were certain Christians, like Martin Luther, John Calvin, Zwingli, and later on, John Wesley and others, who said, we're going to claim this new technology and use it for the glory of God. And others said, no, we have nothing to do with this. And it was a big storm. And a lot of people didn't make it through that storm. And then I'm going to give you a real quick manual on how to navigate through the storms of life. Number one, the tsunami of, what did I call it? Post-modernity. Here's what I mean. I was born BC, before computers. You all were born AC, after computers. For me, see, I've come out of this Gutenberg world. It was a book world. It was a print world. The magic for me was the printed page. And when I started reading, I couldn't stop reading. And the magic, I just was drawn into it. I go to bed at night and make a tent and have a flashlight. And my mother take my flashlight, so I learned to take 2 flashlights. And our fight against the world, the flesh, and the devil, the trinity of evils, and by the world, I mean pestilence, famines, floods. By the flesh, I mean bodily diseases that are afflicting this planet. And AIDS is just the most obvious one. And by the devil, I mean the way in which the human passions can plunge us into the depths of darkness and destruction and despair. We are reaching issues of scale in every one of these arenas. And unless you, I want you to hear me, Loma Linda, you provide moral and ethical guidance for direction in these grin areas, the global warming is only going to get worse. The older I get, my theology is getting more complex, but my faith is getting more simple. Let me tell you, it's all about Jesus.
Let's pray. Lord, there's not a person in here that isn't in a storm, leaving a storm, or headed for one. Welcome to our segment, Transforming Lives, and I know you're blessed by that powerful message by Dr. Sweet, and we have an opportunity to get to know him a little bit better here in a casual conversation. Lynn, I have a question for you.
Sure.
It's called Transforming Lives, and so we like to find out in people's lives, what's a moment in your life that just everything was changed?
Oh, I just say at about 1987, God knocked me off my high Gutenberg horse. Because up until that time, I was a total academic. And I was just doing everything for a Gutenberg world. And then God knocked me off my high Gutenberg horse, brought me up a bit, and said, "Sweet, you're going to get a ministry for the world you wish you had, or the world you actually have." And that everything kind of hinges for me as my whole research agenda. I had a book that was actually almost coming out that was like Neil Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death, where I was condemning digital electronic culture and just attacking it left and right. And finally I just realized, no, this is the world that we've got. We got to incarnate the gospel in it. We got to indigenize the gospel for this world. So it was a transforming moment. 1987.
1987.